Hey guys, thanks for tuning in today. Today we are being joined with Miss Wormwomb, my fiance, and I'm Angel of Discord. Go ahead and like and subscribe below. We're watching Taylor Swift Bejeweled.
Oh, this is some of her best work. That's disgusting. No, I'm sorry, my dudes. He's gonna choose me. I even contoured my abs with the mud from the hog pen outside, so...
Well, I bought diamond nipple tassels, so,
Well, I'll be poisoning all the other maidens in the village.
Okay, I'm seeing some famous actresses. Kelsey, you probably know who they are.
Yeah, I can't name them off the top of my head. I've definitely seen them around, but I'm already liking this music video. It's off to a great start. I so much relate to this Cinderella narrative as I have...
Because of me?
No.
I'm just kidding.
As I have my own cleaning business, and I think in a parallel universe, I would like to be Taylor Swift, but I'm not quite there. So this is very relatable, and I think it's very cool.
Who is? I'd like to be Elon Musk. I'm not there.
True.
She's a goddamn billionaire now.
True that. But I do respect her for taking back this narrative of like the service industry, because I think J-Lo is one of those celebrities that won't even look the service help in the
apparently,
eye.
like with some sort of, I think it was somebody on an airline tried to ask her if she wanted nuts or like a free beverage. And she got really mad and talked to her management and said, like, one of the slaves talked to me, basically. And that was apparently not allowed. They need to talk to her management, which then talks to her about whether she wants her free beverage or not.
Yeah, I've always liked
J-Lo.
J-Lo's art, but that was a little controversial for me because I am in the service industry, so I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of thankless customers. So I thought it was really cool that Taylor Swift took back the narrative and made it like, hey, this is cool.
She's very good at that.
Yeah.
She's very good at taking the underdog role and actually weirdly empathizing with the average person, even though I don't think she's ever actually experienced anything close to that. She's weirdly got some sort of empathy or understanding of that, which is cool.
Babe, really quick, is this microphone on?
It is, yeah.
It is, okay.
We checked it.
Oh, did
Yeah,
you
yeah.
tested it? Okay, sorry.
I did test it. I did.
Sorry.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
yes,
Yes,
Mom!
yes, Mommy,
Yes,
yes,
Mom!
But they're changing it this year. So instead of just showing up at the ball looking hot, you have to enter a talent competition. And if you win, you get the keys to your own castle and a marriage proposal.
I love Taylor's looking like, I have a chance. There's a little truth to that. Like, some people have been really weirdly, like, critical now that she's dating, like, a footballer. And I guess apparently some of the other, like, sports guys have said stuff like, oh, she's a 6. I wouldn't settle for a 6. And it's like, dude, if you count Taylor Swift's awards, my God, dude, like, she'd be a fucking, like, 20,000, man, you know? Because, like, her accomplishments alone.
She's definitely like a billion out of 10 at this point.
Yeah, with her accomplishments alone and her talents alone and her brain alone, that's pretty cool, you know? So maybe she feels like this.
Proposal from the prince.
I simply adore a proposal.
What was that? That was interesting. Looks like everybody paused here. So one girl wants the ring, one girl wants the title, one wants the dick. And I like that Taylor wants the castle. She's being realistic. She wants a place to live.
Fuck yeah.
Interesting. And yeah, I guess that is the most respectable thing out of all the other options.
I simply adore a proposal. The single most defining thing a lady could hope to achieve in her lifetime. The prize of all
This is very tongue-in-cheek, isn't it? That's good.
prizes. Look how many mommies received.
Well, we all know who's not coming tonight. That weasel down there cleaning up my sick from last night.
You must clean my bed pot next.
We honestly have to do this entire verbal abuse thing every time you leave the house.
Shut up, wench!
Stop it.
You smell! Nobody cares.
Speak
Oh no.
I think
Oh no.
I think you and Taylor have the same mental, like, whatever it is, where you think that's how people look at you. I don't know if it's BPD or what it is, but it's some sort of thing where, like, because you always say, like, people treat me like the house wench. And I'm just like, I don't know if people really mean to do that. And definitely in Taylor's case, I doubt anybody really means to do that to her. But she probably feels like that.
So she has a classic case of perfectionism, like
yeah,
I do.
You do too, yeah.
And when you have perfectionism and an OCD brain, everything that you do has to be perfect. And if it doesn't meet your like criteria in your own mind, then you come up with reasons why everybody else would think that you're not adequate. So I'm sure that she's internalizing that even though she's she is a billionaire by now, she probably feels still inadequate on the inside for some reason.
You can tell from this. It's like, dude, I don't know why, but
Not tired, tacky wench, clean. Ugh, ladies, worry not. Even if she were allowed to go, which she is not. The prince would never have anything to do with that little harlot again. He tired of her quite quickly, didn't he? Or should I say swiftly?
There it is. There it is. That joke never gets old. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Lest we forget, you've been exiled here.
Stop it. Okay.
interesting twist.
Either this comes from her own psychological OCD of never being enoughness, or if you want to go down the rabbit hole of karma, which she has talked about openly. And
yeah, she's got a song called Karma, right? On the same album.
If she does believe in past lives, maybe in a different life she actually had experience being the house wench or the cleaning person. I mean, that's very, very far down the rabbit hole, but
Chelsea's like very hopeful that in her next life she will be just Taylor Swift.
yes, exactly. He hit the nail on the head.
How are you alive in both lifetimes at the same time?
Obviously
Karma, voodoo. But then you don't get to be
No.
with me, baby.
Exactly.
So Taylor Swift, maybe that was your last lifetime. This lifetime you get to be with me.
In this lifetime, you chose to be with the prince. Wink, wink, and nudge, nudge. Okay.
Dude,
let's keep going.
that's pretty adorable. But here's the question. For real, like, there's this whole other thing now that she's adding to the story where she's been with the prince and he exiled her. Oh, man, that's probably some reference to a relationship she's been in. But I haven't paid attention to her dating career enough, unlike the rest of Hollywood, where that matters more than the music.
You're not going anywhere anytime soon. Certainly not the ball. Now, girls, let's get many, many children.
Bye. Bye, snake. Have fun being exiled, stinky. I'm gonna be hungover. I'm gonna drink a bunch of different drinks and I'm gonna be hungover.
I also like that she portrays the rich girls the way modern rich girls actually kind of are.
Yes, actually having firsthand experience being a maid and cleaning person, I can testify to the fact that sometimes, at times, this is in fact how you're treated by people who think that they are
Especially in your mind.
superior.
Taylor probably feels this way all the time, despite the fact she's probably the one doing it to everybody else. But I don't think she actually does. I don't think Taylor does that, but I bet she feels that other people are doing it to her. But she's probably the one, whether she's intentionally or not, she walks into the room, she lights it up, she does everything perfect, and everybody else feels inadequate. And yet she thinks she's the one being made to feel inadequate. That's the irony of the whole thing.
I think there's some irony
There's
there.
some
yes.
weird, fucking Grimm's fairy tale torture to her life.
All right, let's at least get through another minute.
Yeah. Sorry, you guys.
Baby love, I think I've been a little too kind. Didn't notice you walking all over my peace of mind. And the shoes I gave you as a present, putting someone first only works when you're in their top 5. And by the way, I'm going out tonight. Best believe I'm still bejeweled when I walk in the room. I can
Okay, so I just gotta say, I think that she's terrifying as a man. I think that's terrifying. I think the fact that she knows how fucking cool she is in that way is both really cool and empowering, but also like, I could see her easily being the monster in the relationship, like easily. The fact that she's like, best know that as soon as you make me mad at all, I can walk anywhere and I'm a shimmering, shining star that can get anybody to fall in love with me if I manipulate them right. So fuck you. It's like, whoa.
Okay, I have a retort to that.
Okay,
Being a female myself, I have
scary.
the only criticisms
As
I
if
could.
being a red flag wasn't a billionaire, or I meant a billionaire being a red flag wasn't a red flag for narcissism. What I'm saying is, as if her being a billionaire wasn't a red flag for narcissism, that line was.
Okay, so
The Swifters are going to kill me. I'm going to be crucified. I'm going to be laid up on the stake and burned like Frankenstein.
yeah, you are going to be crucified. I have to say that my only criticisms, open-heartedly, stem from my own jealousy. I think that Taylor Swift has taken a narrative of what a female is supposed to be and flipped it entirely on its head. I think she's created an entire brand of like the American Western fetishization of what like a Jesus figure is. And I mean, it's a capitalist society, so yeah, she's making a lot of money off of it, but at the same time it's like also artful in a way, because
It's so artful. I respect her as an artist a lot.
Yeah.
I just think that line that says like, but who knows what this guy did first, right? That's the whole idea, right? Is that the guy deserves it and that she's sticking up for herself. But there's a part of me that wonders how much of that do you really think in her real life is real? Like, how much of that attitude, like kind of like Marilyn Manson when he sings like, oh, the beautiful people, and then it turns out, oh, he's a creep and he's a rapist and he's scary. Oh, well, how much of this do you think Taylor Swift has experienced? She thinks she's wiping the floors. She's a fucking billionaire. At what point is she going to be generous? At what point is she going to stop being the queen that's the lady that's fucking bossing around everybody else? You know, when is she going to realize that's who she's become? You know?
Ooh, you know what? That is a good point. That's a good point.
Because how long can you milk the pity pot when you were born a fucking multimillionaire?
Well, we're going to have to fact check that. Swifties, we're going to have to fact check that. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if she was born a multimillionaire.
I know that she was born to her dad buying the record company she was signed on to.
She definitely had great parents. We can give her that.
I will also say she is a saint in a lot of ways in terms of the fact she came from that upbringing and still did so much for like LGBT and the underdog that really honestly could have hurt her career. She took sacrifices and made sure to include everybody and try to help people. And that's really cool. And I know she stood up for her fans and she's done tons of countless things for underground artists. And so in a lot of ways, she's been a saint. So I don't mean to diminish any of that, but I also wonder at what point is she going to start to, and I think she did with things like Anti-Hero. She started to realize that she's maybe a little full of shit when she does a song where she's cleaning the floors.
All right, Kanye, let's get a minute in. Let's get a minute into it at least.
I think the award needs to go to Beyonce. Thank you.
They asked, do you have a man? I can still say I don't remember. Familiarity breeds contempt, so put me in the basement when I want the penthouse of your heart. Diamonds in my eyes. I polish up real nice. Baby boy, I think I've been too good of a girl. Too good of a girl. Did all.
Oh, shit. That's hilarious. But you were laughing. What were you laughing about? You go.
I was laughing because I think Taylor Swift is just so darn cute when she's trying to be bad or something. I think she's got a sweet soul, I think.
She's pretty sweet. I was laughing because I was thinking, I think I've been too good of a girl. And you've been a little brat, and you know it, Tay-Tay. We love you for it, but you're a little brat, okay? You deserve a spanking. You know what I mean?
Maybe a little too smart for her own good. Okay, let's keep
She's
watching.
very smart. She's very smart. I love her, dude. Like, don't get me wrong. I hope nobody takes that the wrong way. If you do take that the wrong way, I want you to go back through my videos and look and see how long I've been a fan. It's just now it's getting out of hand. I was a fan back around the Red era, and I've always been a fan. I've thought that she's great and really talented. And now I'm like, okay, billionaire status. I'm almost surprised she let herself become a billionaire, because that's not who I thought she was. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's the one contention if I choose a contention to have against Taylor Swift. It's that.
That's the valid one. Anything else is maybe jealousy, you know. But that one is pretty valid. And that and the environmental impact of her tours.
Well, because who needs to be a billionaire, dude? Like, come on, we're all thinking that.
Yeah, there's a part of us that's all thinking that.
All the extra credit, then got graded on a curve. I think it's time to teach some lessons. I made you my world. Have you heard? I can reclaim the land. And I miss you, but I miss Sparkland. Best believe I'm still bejeweled. When I walk in the room, I can still make the whole place shimmer. And when I meet the band, they ask, do you have a man? I can still say I don't remember.
I think that's a good message for a lot of women, and that's how I feel about Taylor Swift. She's a great role model for a lot of people, and she sends a lot of messages that are good for building self-esteem, and a lot of women need to hear that. I don't know if Taylor Swift needs to hear that. I don't know if she needs to hear that, but I think all the people she's influencing. And what's funny is once you mention Kanye and how they've had these conflicts, they're very similar in that way. Kanye sends a lot of really somewhat misogynistic, male view, male confidence messages that most every man should listen to. And Taylor Swift sends a bunch of misogynistic, female confidence things that a lot of women should listen to. But those artists might be narcissists. You know?
He means the opposite of misogyny for Taylor Swift.
Misogyny, I believe, if I'm right, but
It's
I might be wrong.
female hate.
Is it?
Yeah. Misogyny is female hate.
I thought it was other gender hate.
No, it's specifically for females.
Okay, well, what I mean is that they both weirdly have this thing where they're both very confident in their gender, and they're very confident for their gender, and they're very much like setting the boundaries that everybody in their gender should set with the other gender. But at the same time, as much as they're empowering the people of their gender that should set those boundaries, they themselves in their personal lives are, I think, sometimes questionable. Taylor not nearly as much as Kanye, but Kanye is similar. They're very similar. They have a weird karmic overlap. They're actually kind of similar people.
Well, let's be real. I mean, most of us don't have multiple mansions to quote unquote run away to if we despise our partners. So I'm sure that the average couple goes through we go through our ups and downs. Every couple does. Right. We just don't have mansions that we're going to exile ourselves from each other in.
I think you know what I mean. Like when Taylor's talking about how, I can go out and you may not think that I'm sparkling anymore, but somebody else will. I think Taylor knows that well enough. I think that's really empowering for most women. I think Taylor, personally, just from what I've seen, might be, I would imagine, kind of scary. Just from as a man, because she probably knows that so well that if you do anything, you say the wrong thing, you're exiled. Because she can go, she knows she sparkles. Fuck you, we'll go on to the next one.
Okay, this is actually could be a whole different conversation about the sexes and different roles that we play and the dark psychology that we both have and blah blah blah, but let's keep going.
Yeah.
Familiarity breeds contempt, so put me in the basement when I want the penthouse of your heart. Diamonds in my eyes, I polish up real nice.
just going to say, if this is true, I think the reason that I have to say stuff like that is because if it's true, that's so heartbreaking. It's just that time and time again, it can't always be everybody else's fault in her example. But I think that for most people who relate to this, I want to make it clear that I feel for your story. I feel to the heartstrings that she's pulling, because I think a lot of women feel like that. I think that's very valid. And I don't know how much of it is personal experience on her part at all, and how much of that is pulling your heartstrings. And I just want you to look at her $1 billion bank account as you take out that loan to go see a ticket and see her concert because you think that she's just like you.
You know, that's a really brave point that you made. And I have to say, being a female myself and thinking, you know, imagine, of course I'm a maid and a house cleaner, so I'm not nearly in the same sort of position of power, financial empowerment that she is, but I do imagine myself like even behind the scenes, like the partner of a man who's very wealthy, or a woman who's very wealthy, or an inheritee of all that wealth. And I'm sure that the narratives that we have in our heads and our psychology just translate into that sphere of power. And so I think it's always a good probably lesson that you were kind of talking about, to examine, okay, how much power do I actually have in this situation, and how much victimization have I done of my own life?
Yeah.
And when we can realize that and step into it, it's like, hell yeah, oh my God, I have all this power. I can do so much good with all of this cash, you know, and not have to have that feeling of being bullied in high school or bullied at some point in life translate into where you are now. Because I think we can all relate to that. That's so universal. Like, we're all mistreated or bullied at some point in our lives. And then all of a sudden we're grown adults with all of this power, or not, you know, not all of us become billionaires, but with this still narrative in our heads of being bullied or being mistreated, you know?
All I'm saying is, as you look at her bank account and then you listen to her side of the story, wonder how much of that is her experience and how much of that is her experience having so many years learning to manipulate people and pull out their heartstrings to tell you what you experience, like a narcissist would. How much of that is empathy and how much of that is calculated? And I don't know the answer to that. I don't know that, but I know that when I hear about these people pulling out thousands of dollars to go to her concert tickets, and then because they empathize so deeply with her songs about her disempowerment, and she's making billions off of people pulling out loans, there's a part of me that thinks these two are not the same. One is being taken advantage of. One is making a lot of money off of taking advantage.
That's a point that needs to be explored.
It needs to be explored. I don't know if it's true. I'm sure that plenty of people in the comments can comment and let me know if I'm wrong.
And we're dancing all night, and you can try to change my mind, but you might have to wait in line. What's a girl gonna do? A diamond's gotta shine. Best believe I'm still bejeweled. When I walk in the room, I can still make the hoes, they shimmer. And when I meet the band, they ask, do you have a man? I can still say I don't remember. Familiarity breeds contempt, so put me in the basement when I want the penthouse of your heart. Diamonds in my eyes, I polish up real, I polish up real. Nights all night, and you can try to change my mind, but you might have to wait in line. What's a girl gonna do? What's a girl gonna do? I polish up.
Yeah, she's like she's either a saint, right, who's come down in this kind of nerdy kind of vibe, or she's like a master at manipulation who is going to play that part in order to really get at your heartstrings to make all that money off of you. And it's really hard to know which. I mean, like, can I listen to a Michael Jackson song and think it's romantic, even though I know he's a pedophile and he was using it to get to kids? Yes. Can I also listen to a Taylor Swift song and think, wow, that makes me feel really sympathetic to the struggle of a woman, even though she might be the opposite of a woman that's struggling? Yes.
These are really, really good points. And I think it's important to note that although she looks very good on camera, She does. She's darling. She's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
Technically, I think that she has the most symmetrical and attractive looking face on the planet. So always remember that when you think about her struggle.
What I was going to say is, although she looks beautiful and she is really, really talented and amazing at her craft, it is always important to remember, why did we remember Mother Teresa? Why was it because she was beautiful? No, we didn't.
Was it because she was talented? No.
We didn't remember Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa didn't stand the test of time because she was beautiful and talented. Mother Teresa stood the test of time because she did beautiful things for so many people.
And honestly, Taylor Swift might become that.
Yes.
There's two crossroads. Yeah. We're right at the crossroads. When she's a billionaire, we're at the crossroads. We don't know what she's going to do with that $1 billion. So I guess, if anything, if we can send anything out, Swifties, and Swift herself, she'll never see it. But if you guys honestly, put the pressure on, because she's at that crossroads. When she becomes a billionaire, she could do beautiful things or she could be a beautiful person.
This is true. I think this is very true.
Yeah.
Just believe I'm still bejeweled. When I walk in the room, I can still make the whole place shimmer.
Okay, I don't understand the dragons or what that metaphorically meant, but I can say this. I think that, for one thing, that was a lot of CGI money to make those dragons, but whatever. Why just randomly include that? But okay, there must be a symbol. Anyways, that's beside the point. My main point is, everything Taylor Swift stands for, I think, is beautiful, amazing, empowering, uplifting for women. I just hope that she follows that through with actions. That's really what I'm trying to say. I hope that she follows it through with her actions and puts her money where her mouth is.
And it sounds like she's on the right track. It sounds like
for real though.
She's on the right track. We just all have to keep in mind what $1 billion is 1,000 millions. Am I right about that? It's 1,000 millions. It's $1 billion.
I heard something really crazy, and I can't remember it right now. My leg's going numb, but I think something to do with, if you had $1 billion, maybe it's that you couldn't fit it in your house. Something like that. If you had them as $1 bills, you couldn't fit it. You know, things like that. Just lots of ways to put it where it would take up so many square feet, high and wide, and it would just be unbelievable how much money that actually really is.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's definitely important, all the billionaires out there, to really realize how much $1 billion really truly is in reality, and how that translates to people that are just maids and people that are just working at the gas station, or
it's funny that she did that. It's
construction
really.
Jobs, anything that's building the country.
It's like, it also shows that money doesn't do everything you want either. That's the wisest part about this music video, is that you can see that Taylor Swift still feels like she's cleaning floors even though she's a billionaire, because it's all about the way you feel about yourself. It's not about how much money you have. You can't really accomplish inner peace the way that you can accomplish other things.
I doubt she feels like she's cleaning floors day to day if she's not actually doing it. But I did hear from Travis Kelce's dad publicly that actually she was picking up things in the booth that they were in at the football game.
It's funny how low the standard is for us to be impressed by a fucking celebrity. It's like I imagine when I go out to eat and, you know, you put all the plates together and you throw the garbage away, you know, like most everybody does. I don't think that that would be a news story. It's kind of funny how low the celebrity standard is. It's like, wow.
That's a good point.
They said AIDS was bad. Wow. They believe gay people don't deserve to be burned at the stake. Wow. They picked up garbage after themselves. Wow, they changed their own diaper. Wow. You know, it's just like the bar is so low. Taylor Swift is great because she's actually meeting the very low bar that is expected of a billionaire celebrity, which is almost like amazing that she was born that rich and that privileged, and yet she still seems to do the right thing which really isn't hard at all, but it seems impossible for any other celebrity to do that. So that's what I love about her.
Look, we don't know none of us know what's truly going on in the head and the heart of Taylor Swift.
That's the mystery.
So we can't assume, we can't make assumptions at the struggle that she goes through, because technically we are all in the same cycle.
Yeah,
of
I mean, look
samsara.
at the other celebrities that ended up being as famous as her, right? We can look at John Lennon. He was a wife beater. Okay, so he's not a good example. Let me think. Michael Jackson. Oh, pedophile. Madonna. Yeah, sure. Well, she's kind of creepy. She's been assaulted multiple people, including Britney Spears and Drake. But we can also look at like people like Marilyn Manson. Oh wait, oh shit. Actually, never has there been a celebrity, so she might be the first to break the pattern of getting that famous without just manipulating people. And, it just looks bleak, but it's not necessarily bleak. I feel like I've said too much. The Swifties are going to hate me in the comments. What I'm saying is I've been a fan. I just hope that she can handle this level of fame, because it's very rare that somebody can.
And look, at the end of the day, we live in a country where we need to be able to handle one another's freedom of speech. So
True.
And freedom of dissent. So if you are a billionaire, you better be able to handle somebody criticizing parts of your personality. I would hope,
even if you clean up in the booth afterwards.
I would hope that I'm always subject to criticism.
Right.
By my customers, by my friends, by my family, by everybody in my life. And I don't think that billionaires should be put on a on a different level where they're not subject to criticism and dissent. I think it's healthy. But we love you, Tay-Tay. We still do.
That's a great note to end on, Kels. Thanks for tuning in. Go ahead and like and subscribe below. Check out Kels's music. It's on Spotify under Wonder Womb. Wonder Womb. The new superhero, Wonder Womb. No, Worm Womb, about basically you're fighting for women's rights and talk about the abortion, the legalization of abortion, and about how you end up either like having your womb full of worms in the sense of it's rotting, or you end up having your womb owned by a worm who is some guy that's just some rich dude that's the only thing you can fuck. And so there's one or the other, right?
Yeah, we get real. We get to the nitty gritty around here. This is Paul.
I'm Angel
Kelsey.
of Discord, so I'm all about that. When my music, if you check it out, Angel of Discord, what I'm all about is saying like there's a little bit of something angelic inside of that chaos and inside of that criticism and inside of that being real and just throwing it out there. I think there's a little bit of something pure and holy and natural in the natural. I think that trying to compress that is probably, even though we think Law and Order is the holier side of chaos and organicism, I sometimes think it's the opposite. So,
yeah, there's some beauty in this mess, so to speak.
Anyways, if you watch this long, clearly you should like and subscribe below because you're enjoying like 30 minutes of commentary. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you, and we hope that we're subject to criticism just as everybody else should be.
True that.
Peace.
Cheers.